Good moment.
And welcome to our 100th daily contemplation.
Woo!
We counted. Last night we just were like, I wonder how many shows we've done. It was like 99. Today is 100. So cool. So I'm Juna.
Sabine.
We're from Synergy in Motion, where it's all about living true to you and your magic, living in wonder and awe on this beautiful planet. And we are also known as Gypsies of Consciousness, and our tagline for that is traveling the worlds, seen and unseen. And I'm saying that today because it relates to our theme for the next 6 days on the 56th hexagram of the I-Ching. It's an ancient text that we've been following, made a little bit more relevant through something like this, the I-Ching workbook that we look at, and a bunch of other materials.
About 5 different books.
And it's all about the traveler, traveling, not letting grass grow under your feet and moving. And it says primarily it is a state of mind. It's a space of mind and being more than it is traveling, but your space of mind will take you into these other areas because our life is on this planet is full of potentials and communities and areas that we want to explore. Mm-hmm. So we've got a lot to say about this this next few days, and yeah.
And when you look at it, we are all travelers through life, right? We will never ever, at the end of the days, hold on to anything. We will move on, and the more we do that, the more we can enjoy the journey, the experience of living. And with moving on from things allows us to enjoy the wonder and awe of living and be intoxicated by it from a point of view of life and bringing life to us, right? We can just be drunk on life and traveling through life, experiencing, tasting, sampling, moving on, diving deeply into an experience and seemingly staying there for a while, but then ultimately moving on again. Mm-hmm. And that there's a beautiful dance, a beautiful way of living when you allow yourself to taste the sweetness of life and living and then move on. Just like a butterfly, you dive into the pollen, you get all messy, and then you spread your wings and you move on. And the challenge is to listen to your true self, who you really are, and to not dive into the flowers that are actually toxic for you and intoxicate you in a way that reduce life and don't really create a great story at the end of the day. Because what if the point of living is to be able to tell a really cool story in the next life or in wherever we go after we die? Like, what if that was your target, to be able to tell really juicy stories, a little bit of drama, a little bit of a love story, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and in that there is this the beauty of traveling, of moving through these stories,
and like sampling, and it's really. So there's a part of this that's you're sampling things, and then there's a point where it can tip into being distracted from the journey inward and the journey, that traveling within, and we can get distracted by the bright shiny things all over the place. But it's about sampling them and really, is this a part of your journey, and then tossing the ones that aren't a part of your journey. And you only know by sampling, and it's really about that, is tasting and all of that, and being able to tell a really good story. So this 56th hexagram is also a part of, it's in the throat, and it's about that expression, and it's the stimulating storyteller. And to be a stimulating storyteller, it's really great to have some great life experience, right? To say, hey, the time I went was on the mountain at Kathmandu, and I mean, and how our minds can create and embellish. That's just the stimulating storyteller. So this is the energy that we're in for the next 6 days. It's traveling. It's not about putting down roots, but it is traveling. So where in your mind have you set down roots in your thoughts? your ways of being, your spirituality. And what if you untethered those roots and flew and traveled and just kept on moving? So this is about the movement. So tune into that for whatever your week ahead is. Is there going to be a movement? And now is the time. This is the time to travel. Don't let the grass grow under your feet. Move on and have this stimulation, seeking the stimulation. That's kind of fun. And that can lead to incredible intoxication. You were talking about the kiss, right?
That's Richard Rudd talks about his favorite writer, or one of his favorite writers, I don't remember his name, who talks about how the mouth is such a central part of us, and really it allows us to communicate, it allows us to take in, to taste, and ultimately the ultimate intimacy is that kiss where you gift and receive at the same time, and allowing life to kiss you and just surrender and be intoxicated by the kiss of life, and drinking that life energy in and moving on when it's done, when the energy ceases to be there for you. That's the art. It's like when the grass grows and it's not correct for you, to spread your wings and move on. It's a fine art. That's magical living, when you know when it's time to move on. To grow roots when it's time to grow roots, and to pull them up and move. And in the meantime, create beautiful, delicious stories or poems.
It's about the experience of it. Sometimes we go, oh, it's the destination. Well, this, in the next 6 days, it's really about the experience. So how can you go deep into the experience of whatever it is you're in, and really allow, like, just lower the barriers and open up to all of the senses as this way of stimulating yourself and your body and life. Allow life to stimulate you. And so that with that enjoyment and that intoxication, it just bubbles over and spills into these beautiful stories and this sharing of the experience. Because this gate in this hexagram is about the sharing of the experience. Having the experience first and then sharing.
And it's really, truly, even though it might seem like it's an outward journey, but it's a journey within. That when we place it as an outward journey, that's when we get lost. We lose ourselves because we think the outside does it for us. No, it's a journey within, becoming you. It's a journey of becoming and flowering. So let's just take a moment and allow yourself to come home to yourself with a deep, delicious breath into your beautiful body. And give yourself just a big, fat smile.
Or a giggle.
Exactly. And just allow this to be a good moment. You're breathing, you're here. Thank you. And then just perceive your story in this moment, whatever it is, whether it is not very enjoyable or super enjoyable, or anywhere in between those two, or outside of that spectrum. Whatever it is that you currently experience in your life.
In this now moment, just luxuriate in it. Open up even more, lower your barriers, open up, expand your awareness, expand the space between all of the cells in your body, and allow yourself to be tickled and intoxicated by life itself. Touching you, tickling you, opening you, receiving it, all of you, body and your being. Now is a good moment. Good moment to be you in this universe.
And in this dance, also allow yourself to notice when you're done with an area, and give yourself permission to spread your wings and continue to fly to the next experience. Just make that part of your story, that is an integral part of the traveler through life who moves on when it's time to move on. We often don't give ourselves that gift, that freedom, and that is what can allow us to dive into the beauty of life.
What if being flighty was a good thing? All right, the ones of you who have been judged for being too flighty into being a space cadet and being too out there, this is what this is all about. Being the traveler, being flighty, flying around, flitting around from thing to thing without getting lost, with still keeping true to you and enjoying all that life has to offer.
To the fullest. The good, the bad, the ugly, and the beautiful. What if you were a lover of living and a life? How about that for a Sunday sermon? Be intoxicated.
Yes. Great. Thank you for joining us on our 100th contemplation today.
And remember to give us hearts and likes and shares, because that helps us to keep going.
Yes.
And comment, what does this do for you? What is it? What are your thoughts about being the traveler and being intoxicated by life? Sometimes on the downside, sometimes on the upside.
Tell us your stories. I'm sure you've had many experiences. We'd love to hear from you. What is your story of intoxication? What is your story of something that you would love to share with us?
We could maybe say intoxication by life.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, we don't want to hear all your drunken... No, just kidding.
If they're interested, always.
Drunk on life. So, and again, if you're curious and you want more, we also we have a few spots. Just to give you a heads up, for our September, we have some spots opening for our Ignite Your Magic, which is super fun, and you get to dive in deeper with us, one-on-one or one-on-two, and go deep into an aspect of your life that you would like to work on and play with and find your magic and connect to that wonder and awe in yourself. So a 3-month offering that we do. It's an apprenticeship. So check it out. And thank you again. And remember, with all of this, you are creating a whole new world today.